The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour, with your host, David White. Now, the author of The Path of Least Resistance and The Tech Insider, David White.
Good afternoon. It is a beautiful and gorgeous Friday, June the 29th, here in Clearwater, Florida, the headquarters of technical trading and investing, TFNN.com. As always, we like to lead off the show here just with a little kind of a nice little nugget, kind of like the mint they leave on your pillow there to get the show started. Today, every year, is the International Bomb Pop Day. Invented in 1955 on Independence Avenue in Kansas City, Missouri, where I grew up, has roots in true Americana. This sixth fin summertime treat is used to celebrate patriotism in conjunction with the 4th of July celebrations. As the anniversary of our country's independence draws near, we celebrate with America's favorite red, white, and blue novelty. Today is National Bomb Pop Day. Just a few days here before. I kind of remember as a kid, that was kind of I don't know why it was so good. I guess probably the different flavors. I can't remember what the white flavor was, though. I knew, the red is cherry, the blue is grape. Maybe someone will let me or remind me what the white flavor was out there. We've got a lot of stuff going on. Of course, a lot of news yesterday. Monday, I was thinking that if we were going to have a major change in the market, it would be on Thursday. It did come in. Ball didn't quite bounce my way, but we'll talk about that a little bit more. Right now, the S&P is up 28 points. Volume has been light all day. I'm going to just refresh this just for a real second, take a look at it. About 3 billion shares for what we've had here in the last 2 days, at about a 40-point move. 3.7 billion shares. A lot of that was on the downside yesterday. We have 3 billion shares right now. That pretty much means we should be coming into something akin to probably about 3.6 billion shares by the end of the day. So something probably close to what we had yesterday. On Monday's show, I know a lot of people are going to be out for the week, but you can always grab my show on Tiger TV and, of course, the audio portion always archived on TFNN.com. Monday, we're going to have a special guest. It is Scott Patterson. He's written 2 books. The latest is called Dark Pools. We're going to get into high-speed traders, AI bandits, and the threat to the global financial system. If you hadn't read a book about the way that Wall Street works mathematically, he also wrote a book a couple of years ago called The Quants. A lot of this stuff, or a lot of that kind of stuff, I'm going to be talking about on my webinar, the 24th. If you bought Tiger Dollars, you're going to be able to see that free. But I'm going to get into it a little more deeper. He kind of just lets people know some of the overall, overall ways that the mathematic geniuses are taking over Wall Street. In Dark Pools, he really shows you that it's not just the mathematicians, but the computers driving the marketplace, and what is not only a dark pool, but maybe even kind of a neat little vortex there. Real cool book, actually. Sent me a copy of it. It's got a great kind of little hologram. Probably can't see it on Tiger TV, but very cool book, and it really gets into what the threats are and how high-speed traders actually work, what they do. We're going to have him on for about 30 minutes. And if you can't listen to it or you're not around, make sure to check it out on both Tiger TV, and we'll have it archived on just the audio version of it too. But he'll be here on Monday. Scott Patterson, Dark Pools. And we'll probably get a few questions in for the quants if anybody knows him. Anyway, okay. I'm going to give Bart. Okay. Oh, he did. We got somebody that did apparently already bought the books. Anyway, hopefully you'll give me some pointers on. I'm going to be finishing up the book this weekend. If you've got anything that you would like to add, you can always email me at path@tfnn.com if you have any questions you think that Scott Patterson, we need to ask him on Monday. Anyway, what else do we have going on out here? RIM came out with earnings. They blew chunks. They've got about 2 years' worth of money left. Patents are already cross-licensed, so it's not going to be one of these deals like AOL where they've got a bunch of money they're going to get. Only the bondholders will have the ability to collect any of that money when and if those license agreements are invalidated or they expire. So at this point, value of the company is something around $3.5. They have 2 years worth of money left until they're totally broke. It doesn't look good for them. Of course, they put off for at least another 6 months their latest version of the operating system for their particular smartphones. But it doesn't look good for them, kind of in a death spiral. And I can't really see any way they can dig themselves out. If they do get sold, it's going to be for probably $3 or $4, I would imagine. They'll probably waste a year collecting huge amounts of salaries for the upper end of the people and sell the bones off to somebody else or go bankrupt if no one's interested in their bones. And, until you go into these companies, a lot of times you don't know what they have. My guess is that because they are a Canadian company and most of their employees are there, they're laying off 5,000 people now. Their expenses are going to be about twice what a U.S. company would be for laying off those same amount of people. I think they've got to carry them for a great deal of time, and their overhead's going to be rather huge. Even firing all the people they are, it's going to be absolutely tough. So anyway, what else do we have? Smith & Wesson came out, had some good numbers on the opposite side. Smith & Wesson is up almost 20% today. Not exactly sure why everybody's buying guns, but they certainly are. Q4 net sales jumped 27.7% to $129 million, led by strength in polymer pistols. I guess that's Glock knockoffs for everybody. And modern rifles. SWHC is the symbol on it. Maybe we'll take a look at their chart here. What is it? SWHC. SWHC. Didn't really have a lot of time to look at it, but looks like they're probably coming close. Probably see them challenge the previous highs of May 1st and April 3rd coming up real soon. But certainly took off like a rocket on heavy volume today. One of the big winners. There's a paper out from the Harvard Business School of Government. The paper is called The Unprecedented Upsurge of Oil Production Capacity and What It Means for the World. Basically, pretty interesting charts. We're going to go through them now. The capacity for a million barrels per day. Pretty interesting chart if you're watching on Tiger TV. I won't spend too much. The big bullet point here is the United States will come into producing awful close in 2020 the same amount that Saudi Arabia produces every day. So going to be very interesting to see. But they went through a lot of projections about what was coming online, and these are actually fairly pessimistic options. If you dig into the paper a little bit more, they actually say that by 2020, there's a good chance we will be outproducing Saudi Arabia, even if Saudi Arabia keeps at the same level of production. They said that there's a good chance that Saudi Arabia may even come down a little, making it a little easier for the United States to be the largest oil producer in the world. Kind of interesting when you think about us spending about 40 years not doing much. So anyway, I want to thank everybody there. What else do we have going on? Oh, yeah, I know a lot of people are leaving. Volumes are going to be light next week. The Griswolds will be out on the highway. I saw a few of them on the way to work today, already headed off. just be careful if you are driving. No drinking and driving. Remember, there are a lot of people that don't have their head in the ball game out there. But at the same time, the volatility during weeks like we're going to have next week is generally very narrow. Look for, on average, less than 1% up or down for the entire week. But especially this is going to be a midweek thing, and we leave, I think, 1 or noon on Tuesday. Tuesday is going to be a half day. We're really not going to get back to Thursday. From what I've read in a lot of the financial publications, you find out, no, I'm still in the den, apparently. Someone asked actually out here. Anyway, from what we're looking at here, everybody's off on vacation on Wall Street. Generally, they give their underlings a lot of leeway to make sure the market doesn't go anywhere. A lot of times you find this the week of last week in May, around the 4th of July week, but a lot of times they don't take a week off. But my guess is that all the big shots of Wall Street will be at the Hamptons for the entire week, and then, of course, Memorial Weekend. So we continue to see a lot of that going on. But don't expect a lot of movement next week. Well, I'm going to concentrate on getting some more guests and other people so we can kind of add to our knowledge base why there probably isn't going to be a lot going on in the marketplace itself. So anyway, there was a few things going on. Monday, I think we had 2 calls on gold. I said that we were thinking that if you were going to do it, that Thursday was probably Wednesday or Thursday was probably going to be your chance to get in. Apparently it was Thursday. Barrick popped. Wasn't a bad looking one. I think that's, maybe it was AEM the gentleman called in about. I think so also. I said that what we were looking for was at least some kind of penetration of the that $38 level. It got awful close, $38.13. You got your pop back up again today. Not a bad little reversal. Pop up in gold was, I didn't look at the contract here, but last time I looked it was around $50. And, just a lot of things clearing up over this 4th of July weekend. But I was hoping that the market actually would pull down and sell off into the 4th of July, because normally you get a nice reversal mark right after it. This would make the chances of a bearish July and August a little higher if we ramp up and continue to go higher into Tuesday's close. Anyway, we'll be back in a minute. It is kind of quiet. Why don't you give me a call today? Pick up that phone, 877-927-6648. And make sure and email me with any questions you have for Scott Patterson at path@tfnn.com. That's path@tfnn.com. Anyway, we'll be back in just a minute. Give me a ring.
It's that time of year again, and the Great Panther Silver Summer Silver Giveaway is back. Every day in June, Monday through Friday, we'll be giving away a Great Panther Silver 1-ounce silver bar, and all you have to do to enter is visit the front page of TFNN.com and fill out your entry. Great Panther Silver and TFNN wishing you a great start to the summer. Sign up today to have a chance to win a 1-ounce silver bar during the Great Panther Silver Summer Silver Giveaway the whole month of June at TFNN.com. With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you gain access to each host charts and computer screen as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, Kate Stalter, Dave White, Larry Pezzavento, or Victor Jones, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV yet, then visit TFNN.com today to see what you're missing. You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Stock market corrections are the number one reason that a buy and hold investment strategy produces the poorest results, and I have 73 years of data that proves it. Now, the good thing about economic difficult times is that the worst economy can produce the best rewards in the shortest period of time. In fact, during the last 130 years, 61% of that time period has been spent in recession. And if you're one of the 70% of American households relying on their 401ks and IRAs for retirement, you need the single strategy that is bulletproof against the turmoil of our stock markets. Go to the homepage at TFNN.com. Under Breaking News, click on Success is a Numbers Game to receive this must-have free report. This bulletproof strategy may be days away from giving the next signal. Don't neglect your retirement, and don't neglect this signal. If you're even a little bit interested in accumulating wealth, providing a better life for you and your family, then go to TFNN.com to order your free copy of Success is a Numbers Game today. Implement the disciplines contained in this report, and success will be yours for the taking.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
This segment is brought to you by Goldfields. For more information, just click the Goldfields banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
As we come back at a question in the den about Apple and what's going on with it, to tell you the truth, right now you've got a little bump in it. My guess is that we probably close out within a 0.1% where we're at right now. Normally these markets where there's not a lot of juice on the way up, on a close like this, you've got the machines running, and right now there's a bunch of people short that have to cover, so they'll probably just try to hang this thing out as long as possible with light volume. Of course, light volume, the curse of the short, because he needs a little action to be able to get in and out of his positions. Right now, everybody's on one side, which is long. They're pretty happy. They're more than willing to let the shorts kind of strangle to the close. So, you might have 1 point up here or down. I just don't see a lot of movement anywhere in any of these stocks before the end of the day. I think you're probably flat today. My guess is that you're within a 1/4 point up or down on Monday, and you're flat on Tuesday into the early close. So I suspect that we've got probably the rest of the day, Monday and Tuesday. Probably when we come back Thursday, we might see a new leg. I don't like the fact that we are coming up and taking these big moves in the marketplace. 2% move today on what's going to end up being fairly light volume. I don't have the chart right now, but apparently this is the biggest day in Spain's bonds back to 1993. I don't know what happened back in 1993, but Apparently it was even bigger back then. Who knows? Maybe the spaghetti western didn't go off the way it was supposed to back then. Anyway, we were looking at gold, GDX. A lot of these had some fairly decent signs that they'd come into lows. The Market Vectors Gold Miners GDX on May 30th, $42.72, 20 million shares. You dipped below it, you closed above it, so you had a decent buy signal on 3/4 of the volume on yesterday, and of course you got your little pop out of here today. I would like to see a lot more volume in a lot of these that have popped big. To me, this really looks like more than anything, everybody being on the wrong side going into narrowing volume. I suspected that we'd probably have just the opposite, and that was bad news out of the euro. Probably a lot of people that were on my side had a lot of short positions, made a little money, didn't really lose any. Of course, didn't make any either, but we had some better trades earlier in the week, made some nice money. So as long as we didn't get hurt, it's kind of like a airplane landing. As long as you can walk away from it, it was a good landing. Anyway, we've got some other stock. Humana Gold. This was another one. Were we talking about it Monday? May have been. I was telling everybody that I saw this pattern just about everywhere in gold, and that was that we wanted to see one more penetration into these high volume gap ups. What you don't like to see here today is this super light volume, which means that more than anything, not that we're going down any farther, but we could just kind of stumble around here till we come back on Thursday, and it might be a good time to just take your money and wait and come back on Thursday with the advent of not having a lot of news or news in the cycle. I can't really see anything going on till we come back, but this standard pattern that I'm showing, if you're watching on Tiger TV, is a huge volume gap up on the 1st of May. Or is it 1st of May? Yeah. 1st of June, excuse me. And that was on 11 million shares on Humana Gold. You had a nice, decent-sized candle, sign of strength. You've come back and you've tested it. The volume, though, was a little stronger on Humana than you would have liked. The first time it came back down on the same volume that it gapped up on, about 6 million shares. Yesterday, the volume actually came in lighter, 4.6 million shares, but still probably not light enough for me, especially when you didn't see a good sign of strength on higher volume today. You would have liked to have seen the volume actually pick up on this gap up, and you really didn't get it. But 4.5 million shares, still a decent sign. Yesterday, you could have bought it. It did close above the base of that existing candle. So you had, at least a decent size signal. But you've had two lows back down in here. Cree. This is one, we'll get back in a second. This is another one that kind of making me scratch my head here. A good short squeeze, you should have a lot of volume out of it. And what we're not having is volume on many of these. We'll look at Cree back above its little trading range here at the bottom. But again, not much volume. Give me a call, 877-927-6648. That's 877-927-6648.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now. If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days, to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading plan. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of TFNN.com and sign up now. Kate Stalter's exciting newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, has just launched, and now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial. Every Wednesday afternoon, Kate sends out her weekly newsletter to her subscribers where she focuses on small cap stocks with market caps under $2 billion, as well as low-priced equities with share prices ranging from $5 to $12. Kate tracks a variety of stocks with a combination of strong technical support and solid fundamentals. Many of the stocks featured will be recent IPOs. These newer issues are often some of the biggest price gainers in the market and provide an excellent opportunity for substantial gains if timed correctly. You can catch Kate Stalter live on Tiger TV with her Small Cap Roundup every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and visit TFNN.com right now to get your 2-week free trial to her brand new newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, while locking in the low introductory monthly rate of only $37.50 per month, almost a 50% discount. Act now.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pezzavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
This segment is brought to you by Direction Shares. To learn more about technical tools for the sophisticated active investor, hit the Direction Shares banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And as we come back, CS, is it EZSL? SCZ. That's probably not it. Anyway, we're going to look at some other stocks here in the meantime. Again, you can give me a call, 877-927-6648. We've got plenty to look at. We were talking about Cree when we left. Unfortunately, a lot of these stocks are kind of bouncing out or getting out of the trading range or coming off the lows. Not the first time that a lot of these won't have low volume off the lows. But looking at this kind of market makes me fairly nervous. Cree has kind of popped out of its trading range and a gap down. The last decent high out here was June 7th. It had 2.3 million shares. Yesterday you had 3.8 million shares as you kind of broached it. You would like to see some kind of follow through today. 1.8 million shares so far. Would it get to 2? Yeah, it can before the end of the day. But still no real sign of strength. You want to see a decent-sized candle in some of these breakouts. What else do we have? Expedia, or Expeditors International of Washington Incorporated. Looks like the government's going to continue to be back in business. This one had kind of a nice low. The one I was actually keying off of was the first one, which was May 18th, $37.18. 4.1 million shares came down on the first test. 3.3 million shares on June 1st. Of course, popped back up and back down. Same kind of thing the last few days. Highest volume here was 2.3 million over the last 3 days. Of course, a nice pop back into this trading range. What we don't have, again, is any kind of decent volume in this, 760,000 shares, 761,000 shares. So let's say we do 1 million shares back in here today. Not a rousing endorsement that we're really ready to take off, just kind of an oversold bounce in here. And until we see some volume on the upside, you have to, at least I have to think that we're just building cause to go back and check out that 12.95, which I think has to happen before we can actually go higher. But we could always be proved wrong. Gold Corp GG, another one of these. Like we said, volume yesterday was a little higher than you would like to see. Yesterday, 6.8 million shares into the previous low with 6.3 million shares. Gold popped, and it did too. Harmony Mining Gold, another one that I was hoping to get down back and test the low. Really didn't. This is one that could work itself a little bit lower before it gets its test. It's got the May 16th low out here at $8.64 on 2 million shares. It had pretty much the same amount of shares yesterday. Good chance that if you're going to find one that goes a little lower here, Harmony still needs a little bit more work to test that low out at May 16th at $8.64. On Wednesday, I showed a chart that showed the worst commodities for their performance so far this year. Coffee was the number one. I thought that was very interesting, especially when you look at Starbucks. You got to figure that coffee is a big part of their business. So their input costs probably had to be going down a little bit. Of course, they're launching their own K-Cup thing. Kind of interesting to see them in this nice big trading range. I think this nice gap up to $61.15 on April 26th was an earnings date, if I remember right. Then they kind of come off of that and have been in a trading range for a while. But right around that $51.43, 11 million shares, looks like an awful decent amount of support. June 4th, you came in there at 12 million shares. June 13th, you come in down to $51.03 on 10 million shares. Yesterday, first time you really started seeing some lighter volume. Couldn't get 8 million shares. A nice pop-up on this, but again, you'd probably like to see something like 5 or 6 million shares. If we are bullish, then you can think maybe Monday, Tuesday, maybe even Thursday, Friday, we could get a nice little pullback in the volume. It would just be nothing. And maybe the consolidation on some of these, like Starbucks, would actually be over. Some of these betting companies have just absolutely been hammered. And we've got some that look like they may be totally washed out, but at the same time, you'd like to have some good sign of strength off the bottom. We don't have that today. Select Comfort Corporation, SCSS. A lot of these companies were making huge margins. Now a lot of third-party type manufacturers are building these foam type beds and inflatable beds with different pressure settings. Can't remember. Select Comfort is the one that has a little thing next to your bed. You set the firmness depending on what you want on his and her sides. But certainly, if you want to find one that has low volume testing a low, there's probably nothing better in the market right now than Select Comfort. It got hammered down on earnings on the 6th. Came in with over 12 million shares on that day, down to $19.64. You've gone down all the way to $19. You've closed back above it. You had a little bit of volume yesterday, 2.4 million shares, and a nice little pop up here today. But my guess is that these light volume pop-ups with less than 800,000 shares so far today means that we're probably going to be seeing that these gaps are filled next week. I would suspect Thursday or Friday, probably going sideways here for a few days. But there are some stocks out there that look like they've fairly decently bottomed out. Again, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648. That's 877-927-6648, and we'll be glad to take your call. Trimble Navigation, another one that looks like it's kind of basing out here at lows and forming a level of support. But again, not a lot of volume in these moves off the bottom. We've got the first high volume low came out on May 21st, 2.1 million shares. $45.32 was the low. We've gone below that a couple of times. First time on 1.5 million shares, then on June 13th with 1 million shares. Went into yesterday with 870,000 shares, and we've popped back in that trading range, but a doji and again on light volume. So we'll have to continue to take a look at that. We do have a caller. I want to thank Tom from Boston calling in. And how you doing today, Tom?
It's Paul.
Okay. It's Paul from Boston?
Yes.
Okay. And how are you doing today?
Just fine.
Okay. And you want to talk about EROC, which is Eagle Rock Energy Partners, big natural gas wildcat driller, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I do believe they're somewhat into the MLP, I believe.
They're into what?
MLP structure, I believe.
Eagle Rock Partners, together with the subsidiaries, engages in gathering, compressing, treating, processing, transporting, marketing, and trading natural gas, as well as fractionization and transport natural gas liquids. Company has natural gas gathering, processing assets in the Texas Panhandle, East Texas, Louisiana, and South Texas. So, yeah, there's a lot of that going on. So what are you thinking about doing here?
Well, I have a small position. I got in about 8.5, and I'd like to start accumulating more. I thought I heard you mention about something about the stock in the past a few months ago, and I thought you knew something about it.
I did talk about it, but this is when I bought it. Let's go back like 3 years. This thing made a excellent low. Maybe it's 4 years. Made just a beautiful low back out here. No, I'll have to go back and find it another day. But about 3 years ago, it made one of those lows. Like the first one was 12 million, and the next time it came in was like 1 million shares. Like one of the other charts I just showed, and really made a nice little bottom out of it. This one, you have the bottom of this trading range is about $8.50 that was set on August 8th on 1 million shares. You went below it down to $8.25 on June 4th, popped back in the trading range, and again, probably you had kind of a sign of strength as it came off the bottom on the 5th of June here, but it's done nothing but go kind of sideways.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, really, you really want to see within the first 3 days kind of a sign of strength. If you wanted to buy this again, my guess is it's probably going to pull back maybe next week to about $8.50. I think right above on the top of that day of 6.5, what was the high that day? $8.65. Is probably going to be where the start of support comes in. Bottom of support is probably going to be about $8.50. If it closes back below that, it's probably going to take one more dip down. But you got maybe 25 cents lower risk back here. The thing is, you probably had a nice trade there off the bottom. But when it goes sideways like this for so many days and narrow trading ranges, normally I call this kind of the Lazarus pattern, where it's kind of acting dead. It's I probably hang on to it just because you're in the right sector. It's been doing well, but you have probably a risk back to $8.50 or something like that on it. It's I think what's your time frame for hanging on to it?
I'd like to actually accumulate it for the long term. I mean, it has a dividend right now close to a 9.5% or 10% yield.
Yeah. I'm thinking this thing looks pretty good if you can break back out. Looks like your first stop is going to be about $10. So not a bad trading range out here. So you got a good 15% to the upside in this thing. And, maybe more depending on how well natural gas does. Natural gas has a fairly decent sign of dipping down into the third week of July, because the contracts are signed with the major electric producers, and it seems that everybody kind of gets out of the way a lot of times. Don't know if we're going to get that this year, but certainly you don't see a lot of strength normally, even if you made this bottom out. So you may have to wait just a little longer to get this thing going on. I don't like the kind of little doji it's making out here today, but I don't think it's like the wheels are going to fall off this thing. If you're in it,
850 is a good place to go back into.
Yeah, I mean, you want to see how much volume comes in there, but you're looking at 444,000 shares that day. So as long as you have light days like this, when it comes back on 250,000 shares or something, 300,000 shares, I wouldn't mind adding into that. You probably have to have your stop, probably something about $8.25. If it closed below that, you might have something wrong that I just can't figure out. The biggest problem is that I think these guys do some exploration, and if the prices pull back a little on natural gas, it's so cheap now that they may get a little bit more weakness. But I mean, I don't know how much weaker it can get until natural gas gets free. So I like the trade. I just think maybe it's going to take a little while for this thing to base out, because it has come back down from $11.81 on the 3rd of January out here. So it's $11.81 down to $8. So a good 30% off its price high this year. So it's probably going to take a little while to wash out a lot of the people back in this thing. So, but I like the trade, and if you are not thinking it needs to pop next week, probably good for $10. I would imagine by the end of the summer, something like that.
Okay.
So I like the trade. You bet. Right. Thank you very much, and you are Paul from Boston.
That's correct.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Again, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648. Again, a good explanation of what you want to look for is a kind of a sign of strength. When you just get one, and that's pretty much it, you get exactly what this happens. You want to see the volume kind of come back on light volume. I don't know if you can see my power law vector indicator back in here, but you still had strength into this last low, although the volume did dry up below 850. So you've got pretty good support there. Doesn't mean that a stock is instantly going up. You might get one more move back down here to 850. And again, look for very light volume. I like two things. One, capitulation, or a total lack of interest. If you can see this thing kind of moving sideways, plus or minus 10 cents every day, very light volume, and start seeing that maybe someone's got a buy order in there. So every time it dips down, someone's nibbling away and accumulating it out there. Probably a good sign that the whales are back in, and you got a good support system in there, and that natural gas one day is going to take off. It's had a nice little move out here. In fact, we didn't look at UNG. Probably need to. It had a nice pullback on Wednesday on it. And fairly high volume, pretty decent volume there too. Got plenty of time here left before the end of the show. Tonight, Ken Shreves is sitting in between the 4 and 5 Eastern Time hour, and for Tom O'Brien. I'll be back at the 5 o'clock hour. We'll be talking lots and lots of technology, lots about Google, lots about tablets, lots about technology in the 4 to 5. So Ken Shreves coming up.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when temporary market spikes move against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped, and you have the advantage of keeping your trades open even when the market temporarily spikes against you. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique short-term binary options that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you gain access to each host charts and computer screen as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, Kate Stalter, Dave White, Larry Pesavento, or Victor Jones, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV yet, then visit TFNN.com today to see what you're missing. Would you like a personal update from Tom O'Brien as to what equities he's trading and what his daily trading plan is before the market opens each morning? Every market day, Tom O'Brien sends out his daily newsletter, Market Insights, to hundreds of subscribers that rely on his daily recommendations when it comes to navigating these highly volatile markets we're dealing with. As recently as May 21st, Market Insights subscribers closed out all 5 open positions for a combined profit of over 68% in one day. Profits ranged from 6.5% to over 24%, and all of these trades had been initiated within the previous 30 days. Now is the perfect time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's explosive trading newsletter, Market Insights, an $85 value. Tom breaks down the market each morning with his market take and provides trade recommendations including precise stops and target profit zones, leaving nothing left to guessing. Log on to TFNN.com today and sign up for your 2-week free trial. Make sure you're a subscriber the next time Market Insights subscribers close out multiple winning trades. Take action and sign up for your free trial today.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the opening call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his opening call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and I very, very strongly support the use of his opening call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the opening call, a $64 value, visit TFNN.com today.
It's that time of year again, and the Great Panther Silver Summer Silver giveaway is back. Every day in June, Monday through Friday, we'll be giving away a Great Panther Silver 1-ounce silver bar, and all you have to do to enter is visit the front page of TFNN.com and fill out your entry. Great Panther Silver and TFNN wishing you a great start to the summer. Sign up today to have a chance to win a 1-ounce silver bar during the Great Panther Silver Summer Silver giveaway the whole month of June at TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, founder and CEO of TFNN, professional trader and educator. Also a special guest on CNBC, analyzing the commodity markets. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
As we come back, we're going to look at ultra-short silver. One of the ETFs that was giving a fairly decent signal. Still have plenty of time to give me a call, 877-927-6648. But very nice signal. There's been a nice little gap up here. That gap has existed since December 29th of 2011. Came down on fairly heavy volume for this ETF, 1.35 million shares. So it made kind of a nice little gap up there. That gap has been acting as resistance for the ultra-short silver on these. But what we had is a very decent signal, especially in an ETF. Normally, I look for half the volume to set up a trade on a regular stock. just 25% volume off on an ETF seems to be about the same as a stock being off 50%. When you have a ETF off 50%, you really need to keep a close eye on that if you continue to think of being on one side or the other. We had the high come in at $74.75 on May 16th, 2.1 million shares. You got in that yesterday with about 1 million shares. Did go above it, closed below it, and a huge move down. We had a low down here at 66.20 today, and now making a doji, and actually coming back into a level of support that's right around that $65 level. So you might have a little bit more weakness in being short, so silver being a little bit longer out here, but a fairly decent signal out here in this marketplace. But a lot of people just on the wrong side, light volume market. A lot of times these things can go a little bit farther than you think they can. Market's up just a little bit more. I want to get the last quote for volume in here before we finish the day. 1361, up $32.13 on the S&P. Again, you can give me a call here in the last minute, 877-927-6648. But kind of interesting on that. Let's see how much time I've got left in the last 2 minutes. Just wanted to remind everybody with Tom O'Brien out, Ken Shreve is going to do the 4 to 5 o'clock hour. As he does that, we will come back in the 5 o'clock hour, and we'll be talking nothing but technology stocks in the Tech Insider Hour. And on Monday, make sure, if you're catching this show a little bit late, we're going to have Scott Patterson. He's written a book called Dark Pools. If you're watching on Tiger TV, you can see me waving the book around. He's also written a book called The Quants. Wall Street Journal reporter, making high-speed trading and basically II bandits. A lot of the computers running the market. We're going to get kind of a colonoscopy of what's going on inside the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ out there, and really find out what's going on in these. We will be back on Monday. Tuesday is a shortened day. TFNN is going to be closed on Wednesday. The full, probably not going to have a lot of volume Thursday and Friday as we come back. But what we will have is a kind of a nice move on light volume next week. Normally within 1% up or down. So usually don't expect huge moves out of the market. So we're probably going to get a little time to spend and probably do a little mental floss out here. Good time to check what we've done and how we can make it better. In the meantime, we've got about 12 minutes, and we'll have Ken Shreve. I'll be glad to hear what he has to say on the marketplace, kind of his IBD ways of doing things. Anyway, we'll see you in about an hour for the Tech Insider Hour.
Great Basin Gold is a mining company engaged in the exploration and development of two